Step into your very own treehouse escape with my all-in-one treehouse base. Nestled amongst the towering redwoods, this giant treehouse offers both functionality and unparalleled beauty. Use the elevator to ascend to the treehouse, and inside you will find a dino pen for all your forest friends and companions, a kitchen and dining area, an upstairs living area with bedrooms for you and all your tribe mates, a dedicated crafting zone, and a greenhouse for growing all your crops. It's even got an area on top of the base for your flyers, so you can easily take off and land to offload supplies. If you find yourself enjoying today's video, don't hold back, smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now, without further ado, let's immerse ourselves in the magic of this treehouse escape. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to a brand new building episode with me, Lance. We are nearing 20,000 subscribers, so I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's hit that button, and if you haven't yet, I see you there using this tutorial. What are you waiting for? It's totally free and helps support what I do here. So do it now. I'm going to do it right now. I clicked it and I'm subscribed. Already subscribed. Look at that fast. It's that fast, guys. Oh, and if you love building like I do, my next community build challenge is coming up soon. It's pirate themed and it's open to absolutely everyone. And I'll be doing a live stream showcasing everyone's builds at the end. If you want to enter, just hop into the Discord using the link in the description. Right, let's get on with today's tutorial. So today we find ourselves on the island map. On the map today we are here, latitude 57.3, longitude 58.6. This area is bathed in sunlight, with 3 majestic trees all standing side by side, providing the ideal foundation for our base. Perched on the cliffside, it offers convenient access to the nearby water source below. It's the perfect setting for our treehouse build today. Okay, ladies and jelly spoons, we're going to be building a treehouse today, and I can say that this is the first treehouse build that I've done using a treehouse platform properly. Because the previous ones I've done, I actually made my own platform on one of them, and the other one, it was pretend hanging down from a tree. So today we're going to actually be using a tree platform. Now, you usually have about 3 snap points on a tree, depending on how large it is. You have the one at the bottom, which is where this one is at right now. You have one in the middle, and you sometimes get a third one right at the top. Let's see with this one. You've got one at the bottom, one in the middle, and no, not one at the top. How about this one? One at the bottom, one in the middle. Is there a further snap point? I believe there's some... Dude, I'm sure. Am I lying? I think sometimes you get a third snap point. I could be lying. Maybe it's just the 2. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because we're going to be snapping our tree platform at the bottom. So as I've done here, I've snapped it to the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do to this tree platform is we're going to start adding in some ceilings. So we're going to be using the big ceilings and the triangle ceilings. So I'm going to go and start here. 1, 2, 3, 4 ceilings. And then we're going to do triangles. And then followed by ceilings. And you just want to repeat this going around the entire tree platform. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in the rim, it should look like this. We're then going to be using the ceilings again. Now, wherever you've done a triangle, you're going to want to go ahead and place in a normal ceiling tile. So from here, a ceiling. And then because these are squares, we're going to be adding in triangles. And we're basically going to do the exact same thing, guys, going around the entire tree platform again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And once you've done that, it should look something like this. Right, now it's time to start building our way up. So we're going to start by using some stone walls at the bottom. So I'm going to use 1, 2 stone walls here. and then a collection of normal walls, but we're going to flip them around to the other side. So when I say normal walls, I actually mean wood walls. So go 1, 2, 3 high in total. And then next to this, we're going to be placing in some quarter stone. So where these triangles are, we're going to do some quarter stone either side, like so. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to use quarter wood walls, going as high as this wall right here. So all the way up to the top. So it should look like this. I added in 2 normal wood walls at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and get a wooden gateway and attempt to place it in the middle. Now, you'll find that I can't actually snap it into the middle. So what I'm going to do is disable snapping by holding down Q on keyboard. And then I'm going to simply just find the area I want to place it in. Try and get it dead in the middle. And simply just place it. There we go. And then on the longer side here, where there's the normal ceilings on the floor, which we snap to, I'm actually going to go ahead and place in some normal walls. Now, you could either do normal walls like I'm doing, or you could do some greenhouse glass. Because what I'm going to do to this is use the frontier skin to add in the windows here. So either use the frontier glass or use the greenhouse glass. Then we shall grab our thick pillars and place them in the corners and going up the windows here as well. And then this will be a corner here as well. The same for this side as well. Go all the way up and then add in some extra ones at the top. I may even add some going along. Now I'm doing kind of the details as we go on this build, I've decided, rather than leave them to the end. There we go. So the next stage, guys, is actually just repeating what we've just done all the way around. So the next stage is, what are these? These are normal ceilings. So you're going to put this design on this section, and then the next section after that will be this design on the triangles. So I'll do one more with you guys, just so you know. So we're going to do stone again, then our wood, and then in the middle, it will be glass. Just like that. And then obviously we'll do this door again. We'll do here. And then just rinse and repeat all the way around. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, guys, is actually replacing all of the pillars with the frontier skin as well. So this is probably something you want to do as you go, just to save some time. There we go. So it's going to look like that once you add in all the frontier skins on the pillars. But it's just easier to do as you're building, to be honest. So just know whenever I'm putting in any pillars, I'm going to be doing that as well, even if I don't show it. So yeah, let's go ahead and add in the door next, then the window, then the door, then the window, then the door, all the way around until you reach back at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've repeated that design all the way around, it should look something like this. So from here, we're going to be adding in a little bit of a roof going around the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and place in a normal thatch roof, followed by a triangle thatch roof. And I'm going to go around and do this exact same thing again. So normal, then triangle. And I'm going to go around the entire rim. There we go, looking fabulous. And then what I'm going to do is on each of the corner points of the roof, we're going to place in a pillar going all the way down to the floor. Now you can either start at the bottom and work your way up, or you can start at the top and work your way down. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to go all the way around and do that now. There we go, it's looking pretty good. Now, obviously, I'm going to be using the frontier skin to change the pillars over. But if you don't have the frontier skin, guys, don't worry, just leave them as they are. but I'll do that in a minute. I won't do that now. But the one thing that we are going to do now is we're going to add in these like little sections that to show a bit of support coming off the pillars. So there's two things you could do for this. Now, if you don't want to use any mods for this build, then you can use the wooden scaffolding. So there's the triangle option. That looks like that. But if you're feeling a bit fancy and you want to use some mods, I'm going to use the Clingers mod. The Clingers Rustic Build mod, I believe it's called. And we're going to use the wooden wool. And we're going to switch it all the way over to the Rustic Wood Sloped Curved Wool Ornament. And I'm going to place that in just like that instead. And I think that looks really nice. So that's the one I'm going to be using. But you can just use this as well. That works really well. So this is what it's going to look like with those sections placed in. And we're going to do that on every single section going around the build. So I'm going to go away and do that now. And I'll see you in a second. Okay guys, there we go. That's all placed in and looking fabulous. We're going to start to build up the treehouse now. We're going to start the next floor. Now, obviously, if you're playing on survival, you're going to need to get up to the next part somehow. So just place in a few little bits of stairs to help you out to get up to the top however you can. Just something temporary like this will do, to be honest. You just want to be able to start to build from here. Oh my god, I missed. Ah! Oh, I fell. But I survived because I am a god. You wanna be here to build up the next bit. So right. So what we're gonna do is wherever there's triangles down here, we're going to be placing in squares above. So we're gonna do 3 squares here, then triangles going around here, and then squares. And then triangles, and then squares, and then triangles all the way around. But we're not just going to do that layer, because after that, we're then going to do a layer of triangles. Wherever there's squares, there'll be triangles like this. And then squares where there's triangles here. And then triangles where there's squares, so on and so forth, all the way around. But that won't be it, because wherever there's triangles here, we're then going to add squares. And then whenever there's squares here, we're going to add triangles. I know, this is crazy. Why would I do such a thing? And then squares again here. You get the idea. And we're going to do that going all the way around. Now, the way I would do this is just do layer by layer. So then I'll do triangles here. Then squares going around. Then triangles, then squares. And then do the next layer. So that would be do the squares here where there's triangles. It's a very simple and easy method to do. So you're going to do that going all the way around until you hit the tree. You want to go all the way into the tree here. So I'm going to go away and do that now. And I'll see you in a... Ooh, pretty bird. I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in the platform above, it should look something like this. Okay guys, now where there's a nice 3 section on top of the platform, so this is the 3 section here, 1, 2 and 3, so that's the 3 section. These ones are 4, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So what we're going to do on these 3 sections is add in some quarter walls going along, and then go up either side by 1, and then flip the walls and go up by a further 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go across as well. We are then going to use some quarter ceilings above this, going across. And then on the sides, we're going to be adding in 1 wall facing outwards, and then 2 walls facing inwards, and on the other side. And then we're going to take our quarter ceilings and take them back down this wall, and the other wall. Oopsie daisy, I added in an extra one we don't need. We're then going to add in an additional ceiling right here. An additional ceiling right here. These are temporary, and you'll see why in a minute. Because we're literally just using them to snap the thatch roof to. Where we'll go up by 2, and then come down the other side. And then once that's placed in, you can just simply go and delete these 2 temporary ceilings. And then fill in the roof section here. So I'm going to fill it in like this. There we go. And I did fill it in with quarter walls, and you'll find out why in a minute. But first, let's do the window here. So I'm actually going to go back by a quarter ceiling first. Then add in my walls, or greenhouse glass. If you want to use greenhouse glass, please use that. And then on the sides, I'll just fill in these gaps as well. There we go, that's looking very pretty. Now, for the details on this section, we're going to be using pillars. Now, this is why I wanted to use quarter walls up here. It's so that we have more options to place in more pillars, like this. And I'm going to go along the bottom of this as well, and then down the sides of this. And also I'm going to attempt to place, yes, it will let me, that's very good. So we're going to place in some pillars like this, and then bring them all the way down as well. And I think I'll do the same at the bottom, loads of pillars at the bottom, and coming along the bit here. I don't know what to call this bit. We're putting them along this bit here. And the top bit as well. My vocabulary is so large that I often, you know, forget how to use words and forget what words I can and can't use, you know? Anyway, let's place in those bits as well. There we go. Looking pretty good. Now, obviously, these will all be the frontier skin as well. There we go, that's looking pretty nice. Now there's a couple of things we could do to the window here to make it just a tiny bit more interesting. Now if you're not using any mods, then you could either do this design with the sloped walls to give it that triangle look, or you could use the wood foundation here to wooden scaffolding. Wooden scaffold. I apologise. You could use this as well to make a little fancy design there, but what I'm going to use is the clinger wall ornament again, russet wood ornament. Oopsie daisy, I just went past it. We're going to use that again. It's the only real like part of the mod I'm going to be using today from clingers, just to give it that nice little rounded look at the top there. Now the other thing I'm going to do is add in some railings along the lining of the roof as well, and then change it over to the frontier skin. And there we go, that's the design I have decided to do for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to miss out this section here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we miss out. But then on this section, we're going to do the exact same design here. So I'm just going to quickly put a little quarter wall just to show you. So this section here, which is 3 ceilings wide. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 full walls. We're going to miss out this section here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do this section as well with the same design. And then miss, and then put it here, and then miss, and then put it here, and then miss, and then put it here, and then miss, and then there's one here. So I want you to do this exact same design on each of those sections going all the way around. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those sections, it should look something like this. Okay, so for the next thing we're going to work on right now is the in-between section right here, the gaps that we've left. So to fill in these gaps, we're just going to simply follow what we've already done here. So I'm going to do normal walls going along. I'm going to flip them and then do some more and some more. Now I will be changing 2 of these into windows, so obviously if you're using greenhouse glass, then go ahead and use that instead. And then above this, we're not going to do triangles, we're going to do quarter ceilings. Now this is because if we don't do quarter ceilings, we're not going to get the right snap point for connecting it up to this roof here. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of these coming out all the way in. And then I'm going to go ahead and place in, is this right? I think it is. Yes, I'm going to place in a roof. And then, rather than using the corner roof like this, we're actually going to use the normal triangle. Like this. And then I'm going to go along and do the same here. And then from the triangle here, we're going to go up again with another triangle. So like this, and then do another one, and another one. Then 1, 2, 3 roofs. And then the same again with the triangles. And that is how you do a perfect roof. So again, we're going to use some pillars like we have done before. These will be the frontier skin as well for me. Obviously, you don't have to do that. And then at the front here, we're going to be adding in some railings. And then in the middle, we're going to have a pillar that comes up to meet the roof at the top. And then I'm going to use the special ornate wall again. But if you obviously don't have this, then just go ahead and use the frontier skin instead. The frontier scaffolding is what I'm trying to say. Use the frontier scaffolding if you don't have that. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, so I might be repeating myself here, but if you don't have access to the Bob's Tall Tales, you can just use a railing as well, like this. I'll just show you what I would do, like that. That's what I would do if I was just doing railings. I would have one go up that way, and then I'd do the same on the opposite side as well. Okay, I just went ahead and added in all those skins, and now I'm going to turn my attention back to the roof, because we're actually going to remove the middle piece here. Right in the middle there. We're going to remove that. We're going to add a door. And then we're going to add in some sloped walls either side of this. Followed by some quarter ceilings either side of this. And then a roof on top. If I can get it to go in. Now there is a little bit of clipping here. If you do struggle, like if you're playing on official and it won't let you clip into that roof, then just go ahead and use that instead. There will be a bit of a gap though, which is a bit annoying. Or if you're playing on official, you could just do it the other method, because all I'm doing is I'm making it have an overhang here. The method on official would be not to have an overhang, so you do it from one back, so perfectly flush. And then this will also be perfectly flush. But because I'm not playing on official and I can clip, I'm gonna do it my way. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is just fill in the gap in the middle, like this. Delete these. And then add in some pillars. And also, I'll probably go ahead and add in some railings underneath the roof for a bit of decoration. And there you go, that is the design. Now, we're going to be doing that on every single gap. So all these gaps are going to have the exact same thing. The only thing is I really want to encourage you to, obviously, if you would rather get a bit more light into the build, then why not mix it up and have one or two of these in just windows? Just have them completely be windows. That's a fun way to do it as well. You can just have that all be windows. What I might do is I might mix it up. So I might do one like we did, like this. I'll do one like this, and then I'll do maybe a whole wall of windows, and then one of like the same as that. A wall of windows, all the way around until I meet back to where I was. So you kind of mix it up between the two. You'll get a lot more light into the build if you do that. Or if you just prefer this look, then just go for this. It's up to you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've filled in all those gaps, it should look something like this. And as you can see, I actually did go ahead and do some windows on each side. I didn't go all the way up to the top, but I did do the bottom part. So those are windows, and I did the normal, and then some windows, and then the normal. I forgot to do the railings because I'm an idiot. I need to do railings. One thing I noticed was it's actually better if you snap the pillar to the top part first and take it down, because then these things go quite nicely into the pillar. If you do it the other way around, it still looks good, but those don't go quite as nice into the pillars. Okay, well, for the next part, we're going to be filling in the top part of the roof here. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Does this, the triangle fits in? This is good. Look at this. I've done a perfect build today. It's absolutely perfect. So we do triangles there, and then what? And then what? And then I think we'll do triangles here. I think we'll do exactly what we did before, the same kind of pattern, where we do triangles and then squares. So put in some squares here, and then triangles. Although, hang on a minute. Because actually, what we could do to let in loads of light at the top here is we could use some greenhouse glass. So, okay, let's do one layer in wood. Okay, there's the one layer in wood, and then the rest of this, I think I'll do in greenhouse glass. So wherever there's squares, there's going to be triangles. Wherever there's triangles, there's going to be squares all the way around. Okay, there we go. I cocked up the pattern, as you might have just seen during that segment, where I did the triangles on triangles. It doesn't really matter, but it just makes a pretty pattern, in my opinion, with the glass. So hopefully that's letting in quite a bit of light in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. We are bathing in we could sunbathe in here. Quite literally, could sunbathe in here. Very nice. Okay, well, you know what? I feel like going even higher. I want a greenhouse up here. We've got all this real estate up the top of the tree here. I think I want to add in a greenhouse. So how are we going to add in a greenhouse, I hear you ask? Well, so we're going to add in 2 pillars. Now, I think I'm going to put the pillars on each of these sections in the middle. Going all the way around. And then we're going to go up by 2. And when I say up by 2, I mean 2 in total, just like this. And then we are going to go ahead and copy the same design, what we've done below, we're going to do up here. So I'm going to do a square coming out like this. So there's a square down there, there's a square up here. And then some triangles. A square, just the same pattern going all the way around. And if you can push it into the tree, which you should be able to, then do clip it into the tree like this as well. So you do a triangle there, triangle here. So we're just going to go around the entire thing doing this. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our greenhouse glass. Now, I think I'm going to go up by 2 in total, all the way around. And then we're going to add in our roofing as well. So I'm going to do triangles here, and I'm going to do the sloped roof there. And do the same thing all the way around. And then we're going to fill in the roof. There we go. We've got a big dome on top of the house. And we can do a few things to make it look a little bit nicer. Because I don't think I want to use the frontier skin on this section. I think I want to keep the pillars as they are. And I think I want to do some pillars coming around the edge. And I could change the glass over to the frontier skin, but the only thing is there's no frontier skin glass for this section here, sadly, for these roofing bits. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pillars, I'm going to switch over to the thin pillars and place these in instead. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Pretty good if you ask me. I think we can go even further with this by adding in some railings at the top as well, all the way around. I don't think that looks good either. I think we just don't do the top. Okay, that's fine. We don't do the top. The top stays empty, but the railings go up to the top. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I think that's fine with just the railings going up to the top. Maybe at the very top I can add in some bushes and stuff, and have the bushes kind of cascading down off the greenhouse. Could be quite fun. The other additional detail we can add is use the scaffolding to place in underneath in certain areas. So scaffolding here. Scaffolding here. All this scaffolding going all the way around. That looks a lot nicer like that. It looks like it's really supported now. So, I guess now that that's done, we're ready to move on to some detailing work. So let's start off at the bottom, where we're going to be adding in pillars going all the way around the entire build. So you want to go all the way around. And then I'm going to be using some stone railings going along the top and along the bottom like this. And once you've added in all those railings, it should look something like this. I'm also thinking I'm probably going to add a railing going up on each of the corners like this. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's what I want to do. I'm pretty unsure on that. I'm also unsure on if I want to do it like this or add in the skin going along the bottom here. Let's quickly just see what it looks like with the skin. That is a difficult decision because I think both look pretty good. There's an argument to be made for both styles here. Damn. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let you guys decide which you prefer. If you prefer this, then go for that. If you prefer with the skin, you can add the skin. Damn, I don't even know myself which one I prefer. So that's tough. Okay, for now I'm just going to leave it without the skin. And we're going to place these pillars on each of the corners. Okay, for the next part of detailing is we're going to focus on the bottom roof all the way around here. So for the detailing, I'm going to be adding in pillars. I'm going to be adding in railings. And I'm going to be doing one there on the side, one in the middle, and one on the edge. For the triangle section, so these triangle sections, I'm actually just going to do the edges. So either side, and then again, middle, and then edge. So we're going to do that all the way around. And we're also going to be doing, if we flip it over to the other side so it's pointing upwards, we're going to be placing in the railing going along the lining of the roof, all the way along like this. And the third and last thing we're going to do, let me just quickly finish that off around here. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some railings. Pillars. Oh my god, my pillars and railings are mixed up. We're going to be placing in some pillars at the very top here, going along the top lining of the roof. The top part of the roof. I don't know if it's necessarily the lining. I think the lining's always at the bottom. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm going to place in some pillars going along the top like that as well. So it should look something like this. And we're going to do that going all the way around the entire build. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those details, it should look something like this. Now we're going to do something quite similar at the top here. So we're going to be adding in pillars again along sort of the top lining of the roof, going all the way around like this. Now there's going to be a dodgy bit here where, or actually, if you're able to clip the pillars into each other, you'll still be able to do that. That's fine. And go all the way around like this. Oh, that one's a bit dodgy. Doesn't quite connect. That's fine. And then we're going to get our railings on top of this, and we're going to be placing them it's still upside down along the different sides here. Obviously, these built bits need pillars as well. And then going around the edge, the straight bits like this, I think I'm just going to do railings in case we want to put some flyers up here and maybe land them. They could be perched over, looking over the edge. Which means, realistically, maybe I have some railings going all the way around like that. And then, I don't know, these triangle bits I could put something on. Maybe like a little statue or something. I'm not entirely sure. We're at that part of the build where Lance hasn't planned it. So he's kind of making it up as he goes along at this point. So, yeah, I think this is looking good. So these are the details we're going to do across the entire roof at the top. We're also going to add in some additional pillars along the midsection of the roof. So along here, going along here to the edge like that. And we're going to do it across the bottom lining of the roof as well, like this. And then the last thing we'll do is add in some pillars on the side of this roof as well. And then lastly, and this is the last thing now, is we're going to place in the railings upside down along the bottom part. Bam. So we're going to do that literally everywhere. We're going to do that all over the top part of the roof. This exact same thing you're going to do all along the top. So all the way around here, just the exact same thing on every section. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those details, it should look something like this. You know, the one thing that terrifies me when building in creative mode is the ability to delete stuff with a simple button. You can press G and, you know, things will disappear, like this railing, gone. I press G, it's gone. I could get my admin gun out and delete stuff, it's gone. Now, the scary thing is with a tree platform is if I press G by accident right here, the whole build goes down. That's terrifying for me. This is why in previous tree houses I've built, I haven't done a tree platform for this reason, because I just know I'm going to accidentally... so far so good. Please pray for me that I don't have a trigger finger by accident and just press G on the tree platform, but let's hope I don't. Okay, this build is basically complete in terms of the actual build itself with most of the details. Let's just go on up here and see what it's looking like. Very nice. There's definitely things to clean up inside, which I'll do with you all in a bit. But first, I think, because we've done the tree platform so low down, look, it's right here. It's really close to the ground. I think this kind of gives us an opportunity to do something a little bit unusual, which is do a elevator going up to the treehouse. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to get a pillar, and I'm going to take the pillar all the way down to the ground. There we go. That's close enough to the ground. And then I'm going to take a triangle stone foundation, but switch it to the quarter stone foundation, and then place in 2 pieces. And then from that, I'm going to connect a normal stone foundation. It doesn't need to be stone, it can be anything. And then I believe I can delete these. Delete these. What is that? What's happening? Let me just do destroy. Be gone. Be gone! Right, now from this stone foundation we've just added, we should be able to add in our elevator track. Now, obviously, use the metal one if you'd prefer to use the metal. I'm using wood, but metal is like 10,000 times better, so I might switch this up later. Now, let me carefully destroy some of this, and then add that elevator track back in. Now, this should work. Let's place this in. And let's place in the little thing we have to put at the top. And hopefully, this means that we can go all the way up to the top. Look at this. It's very slow. It's very slow, but it works. And I probably will switch this out to a metal one that's powered by electricity. Oh my god, this is amazing. And then we can get our dinosaurs into the dinosaur area. I'm a genius, and you all know it to be true. Obviously, you guys can make this area below look a lot prettier. I probably will do that later off camera. It's not something I'll do in this tutorial. Okay, so I guess we're going to move on to the interior. Now, straight away, I'm going to take us up to the top section. So this is going to be a dinosaur garage down here. So I'm not really going to do much this section. We're going to leave it nice and open so we can fit as many dinos in here as we can. But up here, this is where we're going to live. There we go. So I've just changed the time of day so we can actually see. I'm kind of sad about, man, this glass. I could change the glass. Obviously, guys, if you want to have nicer glass, then there's loads of different glass mods you can install that probably will look 100 times better. Because, oh, I just wish I could see through it, you know? I wish I could look through my own... Look, it's so dirty. I can't see nout. There we go, I can see stuff now. I do think on a lot of these walls, we're going to be having doors here anyway. So, obviously, otherwise we can't really go out to these balconies, which are lovely to look at the view of the... Look at that view. I mean, who wouldn't want to go out to that balcony? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just show you how I'm going to neaten up some of these sections. So these sections here, as you can see, they're a bit messy. Look at them. All very much a little bit messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our quarter wall and place it along the bottom. In fact, no, I want to do that quarter wall, but I want to do it this way around. The nice way around. And we're going to do that all the way up. There we go. So it should look something like this. And I will cover up this top section as well, just neaten it up a little bit. So we're going to use some sloped walls either side, some normal walls, and then some sloped again at the top. There we go. That's looking a lot nicer, isn't it? So we're going to do that exact same thing on this little section, this little section, this section, that section, that section, all the way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've covered up all those sections, it should look something like this. Looking really nice. Now, I just experimented off camera a little bit because I was a bit upset about not being able to look out of the window. As you can see here, we can't really look out of them properly. So what I did is I tried out using some skinny pillars. I tried some skinny pillars to make my own window. Now, obviously, there's no glass here. If we were small enough, we could fit through there. All I did was on these sections where we've added in all these quarter walls and these quarter ceilings are along the bottom here, which we added in earlier, it gives us the opportunity to add in pillars. Oh my god, what's going on down there? We added in some pillars on the quarter walls, going all the way along, as you can see. And I made this crisscross pattern similar to this window here, but it hasn't obviously got the glass in, so we can see perfectly through it, and it lets in a little bit more light, which is nice. This is what it looks like from the front. I am going to revert back to the window, but I just wanted to give you guys an alternative design. Okay, so to recap, we got the downstairs garage. We got this area up here, which would be the crafting and half of a living zone as well. Although, I mean, it's a huge area, guys. It's absolutely massive. I don't even know what I'm going to place in here. And then, if we would like, we've got these windows up here as well, which I haven't added in the glass for yet. But I'll add in a greenhouse glass door for these. We can have a whole other section up here. We can have a whole other floor up here, which would be quite nice. So I might go ahead and add this in now, and I'll follow the exact same pattern that I've got on the bottom floor. So 3 normal ceilings, then the triangles, then the ceilings. Now, obviously, if you want to keep it more open plan, you want to see the beautiful skylight from below here, you don't have to have a floor. You don't have to have another floor if you don't want. Even myself, I might end up taking this away. But I just want to show you guys that this is where you'd probably want to add in your additional floor, just because you've got these little windows and you're quite close to the skylight at the top. It's really up to you guys. I'm going to leave this decision in your guys' hands. You know, I want you guys to take control of the interior. Basically, Lance doesn't know what he's doing with the interior yet. You've seen the cinematic shots, you know what I've done. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point, because I'm not future Lance. I'm Lance from the past. I'm Lance from the past, so yeah, it's up to you if you want to do this floor or not. The other thing I want to show you guys is how we're going to go up and down between these different floors. So I was thinking of an elevator track. Now, obviously, there's the normal elevator track, which we have here. But I'm probably going to use this modded elevator, because this modded elevator is pretty fun. It's from Clingers again. It's the same Clingers mod. And you get a little fun small elevator, which works really well without power. But if you're not, then just go ahead and use the normal elevator track, either the metal one or the wooden one. Just remember, for the wooden one, you have to have this elevator switch at the top. Now, the only thing is if I want to place an elevator here, now I just picked a random spot kind of close to the tree. As you can see, if I get my normal elevator track, it's currently facing the wrong way, and there's nothing I can do to turn it around. Like, anything I do, I'm pressing Q, it won't spin around. So how I'm going to tackle this is I'm going to get some pillars. I'm going to take some pillars down to the floor from that section, like this. Now I have to be very careful I don't delete the platform here. We're going to place in... Ooh, okay. We're going to place in... How are we going to do this? Will it let me play... Okay, it's not working how I intended. Hang on a minute. How about if I do this? So, get the elevator to come down. And then will it let me place it in properly? Okay, no. Hang on a minute. Why did that break as well? Okay, so this is a little bit finicky. We want to make sure maybe the pillar has to be attached to this. Maybe I was attached to that before. Let me attach it to this triangle. This should work now. So that's attached to that triangle. And now, it's not working. I literally, dude, I just tested this out and it worked. Why is it not working now? Okay, it doesn't really matter what side we try, as long as we try... Okay, let's try this triangle here. Bring it all the way down to here. Oh, yes, we did it. We did it. We've done it. Okay, now we want to delete this elevator. We don't need the elevator track down. Delete that as well. Okay, so this, from this triangle here, this square rather, we're going to be able to place in our elevator track. Now, I'll show you that both of them are now the right way round. So this one's the right way round, and this one's the right way round. So for this bottom part with this mod, we're going to need the elevator track handle down. And then we just want the normal track going up to the top. And then we place in the actual elevator like this. And I don't know, if I delete this pillar, would it all get deleted? Should we find out? Ooh. It actually stayed. It actually stayed. Now, if we try it out. Whee! We're up at the top. Look at that. We made it to the top. And I can go back down. And the same applies for the normal elevator. You just put your elevator track going up. And take it all the way up to this floor. Now, I don't know if there's a way to stop it, because what I'd love is it to go all the way up into the greenhouse up there. But I don't think there's a way to stop it. Maybe if I try and put a handle here, and then we'll go up a further bit. Let's say it goes up to there. In fact, let's put a little top handle, pretending that's the top. I don't know. I'm trying this out for the first time. So that goes up. That goes up. Okay. So we kind of got to time it, right? Stop. I mean, that kind of works. It kind of works, but not really. And then you call to me. So we could take it all the way up to the top of the greenhouse if we wanted to. Or, alternatively, we could have loads of different elevators going up and down to different sections. But just to show you what I was thinking with the elevator is we'll remove this. We'll remove this. So this is a perfect little chute all the way up to the greenhouse here. So you can do this with your normal elevator as well. Go all the way up to the top. Now this top bit needs the top handle. Handle top. Although the handle's outside of the greenhouse, I think. Is it outside the greenhouse? Where is it? Uh-oh. Hang on, let me do an internal handle. Top internal. There we go. So it's on this side. Here it comes. Oh, yes. Look at that. So we'll have access to the greenhouse. And then we can get back into the elevator. Go down to this floor. Which is what I'll probably add in later. We'll go back down. We can stop it here. And I know you can stop it as well with the normal elevator. And then go back down. There we go. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, okay, I'm going to go away for a minute and just try and figure out this interior of the base. If I can try and work anything out to show you guys. Otherwise, you'll just find out during the base tour. So, I'm going to quickly go away. And I'll come back and let you guys know if I figure anything out. Okay, so I've been thinking about the interior. And I've come up with a plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to do so I've done this layer of triangles and ceilings. Then I did a second layer. But that's as far as I think I'm going to go. The only thing is we've got this elevator and I want to be able to get to it. So I'm going to do maybe some triangles, and then this is where the elevator is. So I'm not going to have anything there, but I'm going to do a triangle here. And this is where the elevator can come up to us. Ooh, there we go. There we go. And yeah, I think that works quite nicely. Maybe I block some of this off, I'm not sure. But that's how I'll use the elevator. But I was also considering this. Now this is really fun. Having a staircase that winds up the tree. I think this will work really well. So let me show you. Do a stair from a square. A stair from a square. Right up to the tree. Now, obviously, if you're on official, you might have to. You might not be able to do this because it, goes into the tree. So you'll just have to do it a bit further out. So this square here instead. You might have a fun little gap in the middle here, which I'll just put a railing around if I were you. So we're gonna go a stair, then a triangle, a stair, then a triangle, all the way up around here. Okay, so that brings us to this floor here. So let's put in another triangle, then a square, then... I mean, there's probably a nicer way we can do this, right? Probably just by doing another square here coming out. But this means it will be perfect and flush. And I was thinking maybe we go around, right? And then just a little bit. And then start going up again. Let's go up again. Now, this elevator might be in the way is the only thing. In which case, like, the elevator can go anywhere. It doesn't have to be where I put it. Let's see what happens. We go here. Triangle. Oh, we're missing it. I think this is okay. And then another stair. And then we're outside. Look at this. And it's raining. And it's raining. But this is how we can get up to the outside. Obviously, I think some railings probably would be good here, so we don't fall off and die. There we go. So we got railings going all the way around. This is really fun. And I was thinking, if we want to go down again, all we've really got to do is destroy this and then add in a stair and keep going down. Same method, triangle, then a stair. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. It makes me wonder if the elevator's even necessary, because the elevator kind of gets in the way. So we've got stairs going from the bottom floor all the way up to the top. I am in love with that staircase. That staircase is the best thing that I've ever done. All the way up. Amazing. I love it. The elevator I might move to somewhere else that's not in the way of the stairs. But yeah, I love this. Okay, well, guys, I think what I'm going to do now is, you know how to build. Let me change the weather. You know how to build the main base. The main base is all complete. How you decorate the interior is up to you, but I'm going to go away and kind of decorate the entire base if I can. Make things make sense in terms of the layout, etc. But do not worry, because I will show you every single little detail that I add. Anything that I add to the exterior, I'll definitely tell you. Now, one thing I am going to do to the exterior, actually, while we're here, is I'm going to use a lot of JVH plants onto the exterior. Now, this is a mod, JVH. Now, if you don't have this mod, you can use the plant pots instead. Now, these are part of the Bobstall Tails, and all you've got to do is go out with a shovel, find a bush you like, say like that bush, I shovel it into my pot, and then I'm able to place it in the pot like this. You see? So that's how I would do that. Obviously with the appropriate bush, because that bush wasn't like a nice little plant I had there. So I'm going to be using the JVH for convenience, so I don't have to go grabbing all those plants. And I'll be doing stuff like this all over the base, making it all leafy and nice on the roofing. Some down here, some up there, some on the greenhouse probably as well. There'll be a lot of that going on. So you'll see that in the finished base tour. But yeah, in terms of the base, guys, please do not worry, because I will show you every single little detail I do to the outside and the inside. I think the outside is pretty much done, so we don't really need to worry about that. But the interior, I'll show you every single little thing during the base tour, and you'll get an idea of what I've done and how you can copy that if you would like to, or if you want to do your own thing, you absolutely can. So yeah, I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Well, the base is all complete, and I am ready to give you the grand tour of the base. Okay, well, I thought I'd start off by showing you guys the exterior details that I added since the tutorial. So we've added in these little bits coming out from the platform here. Just a few little pillars and a few rope ladders coming down off of that. And I added that every other side. So I missed a side, then I added one, I missed a side, then I added one. The other thing that I decided to add is the lamps. Now, these lamps aren't just any lamps. These are actually modded lamps. These are from the Clinger's Rustic Editions mod. 2 small sap... So you get a wall sap lighting is what it's called. And this is what it looks like. So you get the floor variant and you get the wall variant. And from what I can gather, they don't actually need any fuel. I think you can just fuel them. They might need fuel. It might be because I'm in creative mode that it's saying that I can just turn them on. I'm not sure. The other thing that I added to the exterior is some plants. I added in loads of plants going up the treehouse, all the way across the roof, across some of the walls, as you can see down here. And there's a lot on the greenhouse as well. Now, this mod is the JVH landscaping mod. All you do is craft up the plants in the JVH bench, and then you simply place them down however you want. So say I want something there, I just place it like that. The alternative, if you don't have access to this mod, is to use the Bob's Tall Tales DLC plant pots. As you can see, I've got loads of these plant pots in my inventory. All you've got to do is use a shovel. So one of these shovels, you shovel up a plant from down here. Say I want this one, I'd shovel that up, and then I'd place it down like this. See, I've got this plant in a plant pot here. Let me place it down somewhere if it will let me. I'm going to plant it there. There we go. And as you can see, it's in a pot. It's very nice. Now, if I was doing this roof with that, all I'd do is find the appropriate bush and then put all these pots all over the roof. And the good thing about these pots are you can switch them out for the crop pot as well, so it's more hidden. Now, I actually have done this in the past when I haven't been able to use pots, so that's one way to do it. And lastly, another mod that I've used up here is the visual storage mod. Now, this is what I've used to place down this beautiful crane. So this is part of the visual. Okay, and that is all the exterior details I added. Not a lot, honestly, not a lot, but just those few things have made it look absolutely fantastic. I mean, it already looked good. It already looked good, but those additional details just elevate it to the next level. Okay, so now we're going to tour the inside of the base. Now, one could fly into the base, but I am not one of those people. I like to travel by foot. So for those who travel by foot, we have an elevator here for people to get into the base. I thought I heard something. There's a little Pegamastix here. I don't have time for you. Get out of here. Unbelievable. Right. So for those who like to travel by foot, here's the elevator. We did do this during the tutorial, so I'm just going to release the platform and let it come down. Here it comes, all the way down. Fantastic. So we can load up our dinos and then begin our ascent. Now, I should have used a metal elevator so that we could power it and get up there. You know, not manually like I'm doing. I'm going to have to pull us all the way up. But you know what? Wood kind of goes better with the treehouse. So I'm willing to pull us all the way up to the top. Look at this. All the way up. And one last one and we're here. So, let's tour the inside. Let me park up the Thylacaleo just here. And I'll give us the little tour around. So before I even go inside, let me just show you that this little wood pile out here, this is part of the Western Decor mod. Now the two main mods you're going to see used to decorate the base today are the Western Decor mod and the Steampunk Decor mod. Both really good mods for decorating, so I highly recommend you guys downloading them, as well as the Visual Storage mod. I feel like those three mods alone are probably the best decoration mods for any ARK building lover. Oh, he's just on a poo. Okay, so all these hay bales here, these are all part of the Western Decor, as is this, as is the cart, as are the logs here. These are great additions for any dino pen because we are currently in the dino pen. And we designed the base so that we can exit and enter on each of these doors. So if you've got a fly, you can just simply fly in and land and chill out and move on up to the main base. I've tried to include a variety of dinosaurs in here just to show what you're able to fit. So we've got Stegosaurus. Obviously with Stegosaurus, they've got these incredibly long tails, which are really annoying. So I tried to shove them inside the tree. We've also got, what we got, a Carno, we've got some Carnos, we've got some deer, We got a Thylacoleo, we got some Tapajaras, we got some Therazinos. Basically, any dino that can fit through a medium-sized gate can come into the base. Those picture frames going around the tree up by the stairs, these are all part of the Western decor as well, which are fantastic additions to make the base feel very homely. We've also got this log pile here. Now, this is visual storage, so these actually have wood inside them. And the more wood you put in, the more full it looks, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we have two options here, guys. We can either go up the stairs, or we can take the elevator. And you know what? I feel like taking the elevator. So let's go ahead and cool the elevator down. If it will let me. Here it comes. Here it comes. Now, as I said during the tutorial, we had two options for the elevator. We could have just used the standard elevator in Minecraft. In Minecraft, what am I saying? In ARK. The standard elevator with the small platform, and that would have done the job as well. But I've used this mod, which is the Clinger's Rustic mod, to use their elevator. So let's head on up. Now, the only thing is if I don't stop the elevator, we're going to go all the way to the top. As you can see, which is... I just want to show you the journey, because it is fun. But let's go down to the floor we need to be at, so I can do the rest of the tour. Which is this floor right here. Bang. I nailed that. I absolutely nailed that. Look. Right, so this floor is dedicated to kind of our living space / our crafting space as well. We've got a beautiful kitchen over here with a little bar zone with a little, like, what they call breakfast bars. We've got a breakfast bar. We've got a little place to cook with a ventilation fan that I made up. This is just core to walls. And inside I added some lights to make it look fancy. And then this here is the visual storage mod with the meat. And these are grills just with a custom cosmetic over them. Now, what's the custom cosmetic called? I know everyone's going to ask me this. And the answer is, I don't know. Damn it. Why don't they... It's this one. I don't know the name. Oh, J Cosmetics. There you go. From J Cosmetics. So if you search for that, it should come up. So that's just skinned over the top of a industrial grill. We've got some more visual storage stuff back here. These little boxes with food in. We got our little sink here. And a little Western decor mod item there. With a fridge. Just all the basics you need for a kitchen. We've also got this lovely big dining area over here. So we can sit at and talk to our fellow tribe mates. All my tribe mates, by the way, are dodos. Oh, he's doing a poo on the... Not on the table, cat! Oh, at least... Oh, I was going to say, at least he did it in the litter tray, but his poo's left behind. Look at that. Disgusting. Who doesn't know how to flush the toilet after they had her shut? Disgusting. And if we continue round, you'll find that there's a little bit of a library going around the tree here with some books on top. I probably should have done more of the bookshelves going up by the tree, but I wanted to keep the staircase kind of more exposed because I think it looks cool. So over here we have our little lounge area with our dodo looking very happy with himself. Again, just Western decor stuff all over the place, plus a visual storage shelf. Just Western... Listen, if you want your house to look good, just literally just download Western decor and you're good to go, quite honestly. We've also got a little Bob's DLC plant pot placed in here. Another great item for decorating. This is all Western decor as well. The mats are Western decor. Of course, you can decorate with some boss heads if you destroyed some bosses, which are pretty cool. Let's go on outside to the balcony here, because the balcony is a wonderful place to be. You get to view the beautiful views of the redwoods and beyond. So as you can see, this whole area is completely open plan. I haven't really divided it all up at all, other than I divided up the area for the crafting. Now, for the crafting area, all I did was use some quarter walls and some railings on top. It's that simple, guys. Just some quarter walls and some railings. And I've got myself a little zone here for crafting with all my smithies and my little forge here. Now, this place is big enough to fit an industrial forge in. In fact, the perfect place for industrial forge is down in the dinosaur pen. This is where I should have placed it, but I just didn't, because I like the look of it not having it. Oh, the tree is in the way. There we go. Again, another beautiful balcony out here with a little, you know, plant pots and stuff to enjoy when we come out here. We've got another little sort of chemistry science section here that's blocked off with some quarter walls and railings. I also started to block off this elevator, but I forgot to put... I would have done quarter walls here and here, but I forgot, so I'm a fool. Because then it all makes sense. And then you come through here, and it just... Literally, we're back to where we started again. We've also got a little drinking area here for our dodos, just using some storage boxes and some chairs. Very simple. And then we got some bottles on top, of course, and the beer barrels to go along with that. But let's pop on upstairs now, using the beautiful stairs that encase the tree. And then we'll end up at the upstairs living area. Now, this area is kind of dedicated to, you know, our living quarters, where we sleep, where we chill out, where we do all the good stuff. So we've got a little seating area here looking fabulous. We've got a little bedroom here. Now, all I did was on each of the sections, so we've got the triangle, then we've got the square, then the triangle, then the square. All I did was just block off with some quarter walls and some railings again. I used some skinny pillars as well, just to make it look prettier. And that's all I did. That's literally all I did to the section, as well as adding some railings going around, of course. So, pretty simple. We've got our Western decor beds here. Our mat for our tribes. They can come sleep. I mean, if you sleep here, you know, people are going to be watching you sleep. Literally, anyone could walk over in the night and just go, hello, I can see you sleeping. And who would want to do that? I don't know. I'm not a creep. Anyway, here's my bedroom. My bedroom's alone, so I'm not sharing it with anyone. But although they can see me from over there, but... Still, it's my own bedroom. And over here, we have a little bathroom, which I tried to, you know, make it a little bit more private, because you don't really want people to see you naked, unless you're an exhibitionist, which I'm not. But if you are, then I guess this is great for you, because if you're looking at from this side, you're going to see them bathing. If you're on this side, it's a little bit more private. I mean, maybe if I did a wall, or a rate, I don't know. I could, maybe some curtains coming down. I could have done a few things there, but... I just shoved in a little, you know, bits of furniture here. There's a sink here as well with a mirror. We've also got a lovely fireplace here, where we can sit and read some books, which is pretty nice. And if we keep on coming around, we've got a little storage zone here, which is just, you know, higgledy-piggledy with some storage boxes, a vault, a large one, a barrel, and the dedicated storage as well. This is how I like to do my storage when I'm actually playing survival. I like it to look like this, because it's rare people actually go into your storage as well. If people see this, they'll just assume it's decoration, but I actually use storage when it looks like this. I think it's cool. And then lastly, we've just got another bed section here, but I decided to use the Clingers beds for this. So these are the Clingers rope beds, which look pretty cool. Which I thought, you know, worked really well with the greenhouse, actually. With the greenhouse, with the treehouse. This works really well, you know, being in a treehouse. With nets and rope, I quite like. I did I add any rope? Yes. I also added in some rope ladders as well, just to give it a bit of a rustic feel inside of the treehouse. So maybe, you know, they once had some functions. They currently don't. They're just kind of hanging there. But imagine, you know, that one went all the way down to the floor at one point, and we used to climb up it, but then we got rid of them, and they've just worn over time. I don't know. There's a story there somewhere. Now, I kind of stopped at this point. I kind of ran out of ideas for more sections, so I just shoved in a lab here, and some hay, and then I started on, like, a little office area, but I gave up, because, honestly, guys, this is the biggest build I've ever done. And it's taken me so long to film and record this, you wouldn't believe. So I really do hope you guys appreciate the effort I put into this. Okay, let's pop on to the greenhouse. Let's go over to the greenhouse now. So we're going to use our elevator that takes us all the way up to the greenhouse. And here we are, where we've got all of our crops growing quite happily. Now, this does get the greenhouse effect, as long as you've got it right next to the glass, the crop pots. It does have the greenhouse effect, so this is a functioning greenhouse up here. It's honestly one of the prettiest greenhouses I've done, because it's like encases the tree. I think it's awesome. There's a lot of other things I could have done to, you know, decorate the greenhouse. But as I said, I kind of ran out of time. So we just had a simple greenhouse, just functioning and honestly just looking, you know, like a standard greenhouse, which is fine. Not everything needs to be decorated to hell. Okay, let me just pop into the elevator again and we'll go to the flight deck. Now this is the flight deck where we land all of our flyers, where we can go off into the redwoods and beyond, into the island. So let me just pop on you and let's fly off into the world together. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? We can fly out into the world, and when I'm done on my adventure, I can simply come either land through one of these doorways like this, or I can land at the top of the base, which I prefer. I think this is much better. We land up here. I'll park him up like this, and we're good to go back into the base, which I'm going to take the stairs into now. Look at this, all the way down, and I'm back ready to go to sleep or put all my stuff away into the storage boxes, etc. This is my favourite base I've ever done on ARK, because I actually want to live in this base. This base has been a passion project for the last week. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed it and think it's as good as I think it is. And with that, ladies and jelly spoons, I believe that concludes the tutorial. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed every part of this tutorial and this build and want to build it yourself in your own worlds. Of course, you don't actually need any mods to build this. This is completely mod free, realistically. The only parts that I used for the exterior build that are modded are these little sections here, which are the little arches, but honestly you don't need them. You could do those with railings, or you could do those with the scaffolding block as well. So I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe. It's completely free and helps me out a ton. And until next time, survivors, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.